Welcome back to the podcast, Daily Life of a Song. This podcast, as I said before, is behind the scenes look of how a song is created. This podcast will also hit on the important points of recording and editing songs, and also give tips on how to make recording and editing music a lot easier. Come join the wonderful world of music technology with Miss Music. Last time I talked about the writing process of a song. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the first step of recording and editing music, getting a scratch tape. I'm going to explain what a scratch means in audio terms, how many times it took for me to get my vocal scratch, as well as how many times it took for me to get a piano scratch, the benefits of taking scratches, and give a tip or two on scratch recording. So, what does the term scratch mean in audio? So, according to the studio recording column, a scratch track is a rough, imperfect recording of a full song created prior to capture better takes of each instrument's part. So, a scratch recording is just recording vocals or whatever instrument is playing so that the people who is going to sing or play can get a feel for how the song goes. So, I'm going to talk about how to get a scratch take on your vocals. First thing to do when I'm trying to get a scratch recording of vocals in general, I like to go to a quiet room where I can't hear anyone else in the recording so that it's just my voice. I will then set up my recording equipment, which can vary, but today I am going to be using my microphone I got for Christmas. When doing recordings, you don't have to have the most expensive equipment to use, but it is good to get equipment that picks up vocals and sounds very clearly. According to the Orpheus Audio Academy website, when recording vocals, you should record at least 3 takes of your lead sections, and ideally 5 to 6 takes. This quote goes for recording vocals in general, but I took 4 to 5 to get a good scratch take because there were so many different noises happening while I was recording my vocals. I also took different scratch recordings in different areas to see how it sounded. The different areas I recorded in varied between the shield, a practice room, a classroom, and a church sanctuary. The recording I chose is the one that I recorded in a classroom that we used for choir rehearsals. So different areas have different effects. Where I am now is the shield, and it is outside. It's very acoustic. So if you're trying to do a live recording, it's going to be hard, especially with the wind, any noise from the outside. But if you can get into a choir room or a small room where there's no one around that's soundproof, that's going to be your best room to record in for vocals, unless you want to have that echoey, ethereal effect. So, how to get scratch takes for piano. The steps on how to get a scratch take is very similar to vocals. The only thing about the piano scratch takes is that you need to be in a small room to take the recording so that there isn't too much echo for the piano mic to pick up. Piano scratch takes are a little harder for me to do because of getting notes wrong as I play, or I play a chord wrong, a chord progression incorrectly, or I'm going slower or faster than I intend to play the actual song. For the piano scratch, I'm probably taking about 5 to 7 of them. I'm still trying to get the piano take so that I can record the actual piano part, so I can start editing. And once I can get my piano scratch, I am able to combine my vocals and my piano to get the complete scratch, so that whenever I am ready to record it for real, I can send it to somebody, whoever's playing the piano, whoever's singing, so that they can sit down, listen to it, and when they're ready, I can record them singing or playing the piano. So, a few tips for the newbies, as this segment has become to be called. Tip number one, your scratch recordings are not going to be perfect the first time. You're able to take as many scratch takes as you need. Most people, you can get a good scratch your first time recording. But depending on how difficult the song is, the more takes you're going to have to make. With each part in general, vocals sometimes can take between 3 and 7 or more, depending on how difficult your song is. Tip number 2. Do not be afraid to ask the group performing for the scratch takes to change something if needed. If you don't ask, they will not know what to change. Say you have a group of people performing and you're trying to get a scratch of it, but every time they perform, they're not giving enough diction. They're not being clear with their words. So, in order to get a good scratch, you can tell them, hey, can you enunciate your words more? And if they're good musicians, or just musicians in general, they're able to fix what they're doing wrong. So if they're not being percussive with their words, the second time you record, or however many times you need to, they can learn to be more percussive with their words so that you can understand what they are saying in the recording. So, to recap, I have talked about what scratch takes are, how to get vocal scratch takes as well as piano scratch takes, tell the benefits of scratch takes, and give a tip or two on how to get a decent scratch take. I'm so glad y'all can join me as we dove into the realm of music. Y'all make sure to come back and join me for my next episode as I talk about the kind of equipment that I use in recording music and what exactly it's used for. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a wonderful day, and Miss Music will catch you later. Eldest daughters, we carry the weight to the storms of life we navigate with grace and resilience.